it. All right, the first movie on our list today is Road Trip. Take it away, Jude. What is this movie all about?
2000, Road Trip, rated R with a runtime of 1 hour, 33 minutes. This had a budget of $16 million. Alex, what do you think this brought into the box office?
16 million? Road Trip. I'm going to say it made 32.
Okay.
Made
Thomas?
altogether? Profit or?
I mean, I'm not talking like video sales
What do
or
you think,
kids.
what do you
kids
think
that,
the box office?
Box office?
For this.
50 million.
119 million.
Whoa.
I believe it. I believe
Wow.
it. This was a hot movie when it came out.
Was it?
We all went and saw this movie.
Because it doesn't.
This movie was edgy as hell when it came out.
If you were a certain age and a guy,
Right.
you saw this movie.
Okay.
If you've ever killed a cheetah, you have seen this movie.
See,
Yeah.
So I thought for sure that nice. I thought for sure that this was going to be one of those movies that like made it at the home video when people people saw it and they were like, "Holy crap! Have you seen Road Trip?" And they go to the Blockbuster and they rented it and then they watch it 30 times because of the boobs.
This was the first real funny movie in a long time. Like for real. Like if, the 90s.
When did this come out?
2000. The 90s were not hilarious. Like She's All That was fine. This is
When
funny.
was American Pie?
Before this, like 4 years.
I thought that set the standard for this like coming of age comedy romp.
Yes.
Yeah, because Stifler was still in high school and now he's in college. in this one.
Right
So,
on.
do you guys know who directed this movie?
I do not.
It's Ron Howard.
No, it's
Ron Howard's brother.
Todd Phillips, who did all the Hangover movies.
yeah.
Oh,
and
yeah.
and The Joker.
Joker, yeah.
Did Todd Phillips do, oh God, what am I thinking of? Old School?
Yes.
Yeah, he did that one as well,
Yeah.
right? Old School. Oh, another great one.
Yeah, this was the big hit that kind of launched him into like the comedy space. And then now that he did The Joker, he's kind of like an in-demand, like dramatic director and stuff like that. But this was like his first kind of big splash onto the comedy scene. It was like, it's his humor that kind of permeates this movie.
Cool. It blows my mind that he did The Joker. Like, that is such a whacked out movie. It has no humor in it whatsoever.
Well, it's dark. It's dark. It's funny in a weird way.
It's funny if you're like fucked up in the head.
Is that why I laughed the whole time?
That's why you laugh the whole time. And you get what you fucking deserve. Tom's out there going, ah!
I get it.
He's psychopath.
I'm not alone anymore.
There's people like me.
Oh, God, it's already off the rails. All right, Jude, take it away. What is this movie all about?
Road Trip. So everybody knows that sex in different area codes doesn't count as cheating. But when Josh accidentally sends video evidence to his girlfriend Tiffany in Austin, he's got to get to her before her mail does. Thankfully, his good friend Kyle has a car. And since Josh, EL, and Ruben are such good friends with Kyle, they let him come along on the road trip. They're not on the road long before tragedy strikes, and the boys have to find alternate means of travel. Good thing there's a school for the blind nearby where Jack Bauer's friend Chloe works. Stifler pretends to be a mechanic and borrows a school bus to make the rest of the trip. They stop off to party and crash with their fraternity brothers at the University of Tennessee, where Kyle becomes a man, and the next morning stop at a sperm bank for a little extra cash, where EL has a life-changing experience called milking the prostate. Finally, the group makes it to Tiffany's mailbox in Austin, where Kyle's dad meets them. Thinking his son's been kidnapped and following the trail of credit card transactions, he tracked them down and brought his dirty Harry gun to a pepper spray fight on campus. Tiffany and Josh have a really nice, amicable breakup, and the boys head back to Ithaca, where Josh has Beth and a philosophy test waiting for him. Discuss.
There is no unfunny moment in this movie. It's just like, it's one bit after another strung along in this ridiculous story.
It doesn't drag.
It doesn't drag at all.
Even Tom Green is funny, and I always find him great.
Even Tom Green
Yeah.
is Boston, Austin, Massachusetts.
So
What does he say to the snake about the, like, feel the rage or something?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the entire time Tom Green's character is obsessed, like the character Barry, he's obsessed with seeing
feeding the snake
eat like a mouse, and he keeps like psychologically torturing the mouse by like telling him about how he's going to get eaten.
it's okay. It's not. It's going to be completely painless. You'll just be strangled to death and suffocated and eaten alive.
And there's that weird scene, like Tom Green was kind of famous for like doing like stuff with his mouth where he put the
when he put the
mouth.
rouse, the rouse in his mouth. When he
The
put
rouse in the mouth.
He's sitting there and he's like dangling it, and he's upset because the freaking snake hasn't eaten the mouse yet.
He's trying to show the snake how to do it.
Yeah,
And
it's like,
he's
look,
like, look, you just do this.
And the chick walks in, and all he's got is the tail hanging out. And for the life of me, when I was watching this movie, I'm like, okay, that's got to be like a fake mouse, right? No, he pulls that thing out of his mouth, and it starts like crawling around.
Didn't it shit in his mouth?
I don't know.
You were too young for Tom Green.
Yeah, I didn't. This is probably the first movie I've ever seen him in.
Yes, because his show was special.
Yeah. Do you remember like when it premiered on MTV and it was like, this is the funniest thing ever?
Yes.
And then like,
Not to me.
like over time, he became like annoying.
Very.
Yeah.
And like his fan base just abandoned him.
Yeah, this dude is a side character. You cannot have an entire movie based around
he
him.
can't carry
No.
something.
No.
It's just too much.
But he was engaged to Drew Barrymore.
They
were
married.
married.
They married.
They were married.
What?
Yeah, they burned their house down and they got divorced. That's real.
Nice.
Their dog saved them.
Seriously?
I hope that's
Like
true.
it woke him up?
Yeah.
Wow.
What is it, girl?
The house is on fire? What? No, I don't know. There's amazing moments in this movie. The reason why I picked it because I knew it was like a successor to
Eurotrip.
precursor to Eurotrip. And I love Eurotrip. And I was like, well, if I'm gonna do one, I gotta do the other. This isn't like my favorite one is Sex Drive for the week, but we'll get into that in a minute. But it's just classic, funny, coming of age, goofy. It's like when they took the nerd's car and they're like, "What? You're gonna come along with us, bud?" And he gets in the car with them and they go. The best bit of that whole part is the freaking bridge.
We're gonna jump it.
He's like, I think we can make it. It's only 10 feet. Look, I can spit across it. And he's like, he like launches a loogie, and then the bridge just falls over, and he's like, so 75 miles an hour.
Yeah, we'll go 90. We'll go 90.
Yeah, they do math to figure out they can make it.
And he's like, all I said was that we would make it across. I never said anything about the integrity of the car when we were done. And they just are so merciless to this kid whose car they're borrowing.
DJ Qualls, yeah.
He's great. He's a great actor.
Oh, he's the best.
Is he, or does he just look like that?
He just looks
And
like
that's
that.
it. He just
have you
stands there.
Have you ever seen The New Guy?
Yeah.
Yes.
That was on my list for this week.
Yes.
I almost picked that one.
Thank God you didn't.
You didn't like that movie?
I want to watch that movie again.
Eliza Dushku, she's the best.
She's awesome. I love that whole movie.
The douche kid. But this is Amy Smart naked. It's got my favorite gratuitous shower scene where it has nothing to do with anything at all.
Because it's told from Tom Green's perspective.
He's just making it all up. and he looks at the kid, and another chick comes in, totally naked.
Totally naked.
Yeah, looks really naked.
Like, really
super
naked.
And the chick over there's like, that's not what we do. And he's like, shh. Yes, it is. And it just cuts to just chicks and talking.
I turned to Judah. I'm like, that's how girls' locker rooms really are, right? She's like, yeah.
Sure, babe.
Sure, babe. keep that
I'm not going to
imagination
take
going.
it from you.
I've been in a men's locker room many, many times to know that's exactly what it's like.
Men's locker rooms are disgusting.
It's horrible in
It's
there.
traumatizing.
It's horrible.
I don't go to LVAC
I
anymore.
saw this old man's ass that was so red. It was so red. Why was it red?
Why is it always the old men?
It was like a baboon's ass. And he was proud and naked and just standing there.
The old men give no shit.
They give no shits.
I worked in
No.
a spa for a really long time,
Oh, I forgot
and I
about
saw parts of men that I had no business seeing. I was working on their feet, and I saw their balls. Why? Why?
Because they fall out.
They're just so big. They gotta go somewhere.
No man has
Giant
ever been
balls.
able to
This is-
just sit with their legs together.
Whoa.
We're gonna get into the remember the ball scene from Sex
Oh
Drive.
my
We'll get
God.
it. We'll get there. Anyway, oh God, how many other bits are there? Oh, the freaking sorority that they go to. The fraternity. Sorority's chicks, right?
They wish.
Sigma Chi?
Sigma Chi.
Traditional black
Dude,
fraternity?
He goes there and he's like, yeah, we're the Ithaca chapter. And the guy's looking at him like, okay. And then they do the handshake and he got the handshake down and then they walk in and it's like an all black fraternity. And their guys are like, bro, I don't think we're supposed to be here. And he's like, cool, man. It's good. We're good to go.
And then they fuck with them.
And then they mess with him. That is the best.
Poor Kyle.
Are you in the Ku Klux Klan?
He's like, what the fuck is this? And he's got a freaking hood. And he's like, no, that's not mine. I swear to God. And then he falls over and faints. And it's a bit. They're just all doing a bit. Like this whole movie is just full of those freaking moments.
So what about DJ Qualls and the big, beautiful black woman?
Oh, I love
get it.
Dude, I
Get it.
love it.
Oh, isn't he the cutest
Yes.
little thing.
No. And when the hand goes around the back of his head, and it's like she just palms his head. It's like, ew.
Dude, the scene where the camera's just at the foot of the bed and it's just full ass, just a full frame, and his tiny little white legs are just hanging out the butt.
Like his tiny whities aren't even tight.
I know.
That's how little he is.
He's so tiny.
And she's like, "Don't worry, honey. I'll take care of everything."
She knows exactly where the condoms are in that guy's drawer.
Behind the Old Spice and the belt.
Yeah. And he even makes a comment too. He's like, "Wow, it's really weird that you know exactly where they are."
He's like, good guess.
Yeah.
Remember when he introduces her to his parents at the end?
Oh,
She's
the
like,
end.
hi, Dad.
Dad. And he's just sitting there going like, what's going on? He's not mad about it though, which is great.
So it's kind of funny. All three of these movies kind of have similar tropes in them, like similar scenes, because they're all basically following the same formula. And one of the formula is like meeting up with like the old grandparents or parents of like a character. And in this movie, Barry, the Tom Green character, calls up his grandparents. Barry Manilow. And calls up his grandparents and sets up his friends for like a night at his grandparents' place, which happens to be a trailer. And when they get in there, the grandfather is watching.
No, it's not a trailer.
It's a trailer and sex drive.
Yeah.
In this, it's like a farmhouse.
It's a big farmhouse.
Yeah.
Okay, so the grandfather is watching MTV and he's watching like all these like girls dancing around in like hip hop videos, and when he gets up to greet like the friends that come in, he's got a huge boner.
He's grabbing their hands.
He knocks over a statue of like an angel.
And the grandmother's like, Harry,
Put your boner away. And he's like, oh, what do you want me to do? Cut it off?
He's like knocking over stuff with it as he like turns around.
He's like, oh, this damn Viagra.
It's so bananas, dude.
Yeah, look, it's what? How many acts? There's 5 acts, I guess, is traditional, right? There's nothing not funny about it.
No,
It
each
never
one
drops
hits.
off.
Yeah.
It never drops off. But my favorite thing about each one of these is how many crimes are committed.
Oh my God.
And at what point do they have to deal with those things? Because they steal that school bus.
Yeah.
They never bring it back.
They never bring it back.
It's a short bus. It's for handicapped people.
It says on the side for the School of the Blind.
That's right. They straight up just steal it.
That was the darkest moment.
And
in
then
this
just
movie.
drive back to school.
Yeah.
In the school bus. They have no money. They get all
They
the
just
way.
steal it.
And then they get back somehow. There's a lot of fun things like that in these dumb movies that you don't need to,
Don't ask too much about it.
Don't think about it. Get drunk with your buddies, smoke a bowl, do something, enjoy
Take some Viagra.
Take some Viagra.
Not with your buddies while you're drunk. Don't do that.
So we need to talk about the most infamous scene in this movie.
Go for
which
it.
is the French toast scene with Horatio Sands.
Oh, that's so rough.
Oh, have you guys ever seen Waiting with Ryan Reynolds?
Of course.
Yeah. Okay. So that's like,
Jude, you've never seen Waiting?
I used to serve. I don't need to.
Oh, it's not worth it.
I used to serve. I love that movie.
Yeah, I used to serve too.
It's like Downton Abbey in here.
I was a servant at a pizza restaurant called Franco's.
Where did you serve?
I worked for several serves.
No, but that like it's always weird to me when I watch these things where like the server like gets revenge on the customer or whatever. Because I did do that shit, but not to this extent.
Did you really?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. You get some freaking cranky lady who's like being mean to the waitress, and the cook's in the back going, "What did she say to you? That bitch." All right. Really? What did she order? I got this.
Like, so does anyone want to describe the scene that we're going to be talking about?
So poor, I don't know if I can. Poor Kyle, right? He orders French toast, and because
He
he's
specifically said no
powdered sugar. He's like, please,
It's good.
he's like, I'm sorry, but I ordered no powdered sugar, and the guys look at him like, well, it has like a barely sprinkling of powdered sugar on it. He's like, I don't like eating too much sugar first thing in the morning. It's like the most adorable, ridiculous thing ever.
It's like my blood sugar can't handle it, and I get really worked up, and then my heartbeat gets.
And the server goes, he's like in sweatpants. There's like no uniforms at this restaurant. He's just in,
Oh, this is like the Waffle House.
yeah. He's in a white t-shirt and sweatpants. And it's this like slightly overweight dude. He goes back, he puts the plate down, he stares at it for a minute. And he's like, he starts licking the freaking sugar off of it.
He tongues it?
He tongues it
Oh.
full on.
Fucks that piece of French toast with his tongue.
And then he shoves it. He puts one slice down the front of his pants. And then the most epic freaking move ever. He tosses it in the air, turns forward, opens his pants up in the back, and it falls into the back of his pants.
The best is when he walks over to the table and you can see the French toast in the back of his pants.
It's like an imprint.
Doing lunges.
He's waddling and doing lunges. It's so gross. Ugh. And and then he gets out and he takes it out of his pants and he puts it on the plate and then he serves it to Kyle. And Kyle sits there and he's so excited for his French toast. He's got this adorable little smile on his face and he just starts eating it and goes, "It's really good, guys.
It's really good."
Ugh. I never did anything like that.
That's a very Todd Phillips humor type thing. Like he does that in his movies a lot.
Oh God, it's so brutal, man.
I'm here
it's
for the
so
gangbang.
brutal.
That's Todd Phillips. That's it. Here for the gangbang.
Oh my God. What else? What other infamous?
Well, there's the milking.
Okay, we got to do the sperm bank scene.
Oh, it's ridiculous.
It's so
I'm
ridiculous.
going to do a procedure on you. It's called milking the prostate.
Well, he asks for it though, because he's like trying to hit on the nurse, I guess the nurse, and he's like, "Well, do you have any Asian magazines? They really do it for me." And she's like, "What you get is, what you get."
Yeah, and we should point out, so like they go to a sperm bank because they need money. Like they're all out of money. They can't pay for gas.
Right.
So they go there to donate their sperm, but two of them are instantly disqualified because one just had sex and the other is addicted to weed.
With a girl.
Sex with the girl. And so Breckin Meyer and Stifler are the only two who can do this. And Stifler, is trying to get help from the nurse.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, I was hoping for a little personal attention
Yeah.
or something like that. And she's like, she raises one eyebrow and she's like, "Did you need
some
help?" And she slaps a glove on and snaps it, and shit is about to get fucking weird.
But he doesn't. That's the best part.
At not one moment does he realize what's happening.
He's totally just going with it. He's like, "Oh, that's weird. All right, I'm into it."
He's like, bend over, face the table, put your hands flat down, pull your pants down, and he's like,
And he's still like, "I love those nylons on you." "Oh, sweetheart, you are not in charge here."
He says, "Please don't stop."
She starts going at it, dude.
His physical comedy in this
Oh
scene
my
is
God.
amazing.
He just starts shaking uncontrollably. That's so
His
ridiculous.
face did the same thing that Arnold Schwarzenegger's face did in Total
Recall.
yeah.
It's just eyes bug out. Freaking tongue gets all fat.
It's amazing.
That's disturbing.
And the haunting thing is just they show the whole thing too.
Oh yeah, no, they don't cut away.
There's
Start to finish.
It's not implied.
She
Start to finish.
She even pulls out a cup with the cum in it. She's like, I got what I needed.
She's like, "Good job."
It's so messed up, dude.
It is. It's amazing.
Oh, I can't believe they put that kind of stuff in movies.
And then you can hear his friend Josh in the other room can hear him.
Yeah. And he's sitting there all traditionally. He's got the magazine open and he's just ridiculous, man. Just absolutely ridiculous. Everything about this movie is ridiculous. But that's what's good about it.
It's great.
What is this genre? What would you call this genre?
Gross out
Sex
comedy.
comedy.
Yeah.
Sex comedy. Okay.
It's something with Porky's and
Yeah,
Yeah,
Animal House.
American Pie.
Okay.
Similar movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, similar.
So there's a character.
Not exactly 16 Candles.
No.
No.
There's a character in this movie named Jacob who's like the TA for the philosophy class that Josh is somewhat failing. And did you guys recognize who the actor is who played Jacob? Were you have any Star Trek fans?
Oh,
Yeah,
no.
yes.
Well, yeah, but
You just tell us.
just tell us.
All right, so Anthony Rapp plays Jacob, and he plays Stamets on Star Trek Discovery.
I've never
watch
seen
Discovery,
Star Trek.
bro. Come on.
I think he's a Star Trek fan.
Yeah, come on, dude.
Nice try, Kadish.
Well,
He was in one episode of Deep Space Nine. I'm like, oh, okay. Thank you.
It was funny because when I was watching this, every time like Jacob would appear on screen, I'm like, God, he looks familiar. And then I found out the actor who played him, and he looks totally different in Discovery. And I was just like, oh my God, that's Anthony Rapp.
Oh, the blonde dude
Yeah,
from
like
Discovery. He's like the doctor or something,
the
right?
gay engineer guy.
He's an engineer?
Yeah,
I thought he was a doctor.
he's
Anyway.
like the head engineer.
He's a doctor of
Okay.
engineering.
His
doctor.
boyfriend is the doctor.
Yes, now I know who you're talking about. Yes.
What is Star Trek Discovery about? You guys are laying out some characters.
I don't know,
here
dude. There's
that-
like some mushrooms.
I've literally
It's basically
never
like
seen
road
it.
trip in space.
I'm like, what's happening right now?
That would be an amazing Star Trek episode.
Isn't that what the Orwell is?
Kind of.
Yeah.
I like the Orwell. It's
I
coming
do
back.
too. Is it coming back?
Yeah, it's coming back.
But it's Disney though, right?
now. Well, no.
Is Disney going to let them do the full FX thing?
Well, they're on
Why
Hulu
not?
now.
Yeah, they're
Seth MacFarlane and Disney. That is a relationship I never
That's
thought
what I'm
see.
saying. I don't know if this is gonna work. I'm not sure if this is gonna work.
Well, whatever.
But anyway, is there anything else you want to? We can do final thoughts on this one. It's a bit after a bit. So which one is your favorite bit?
Okay, no, this is something I actually want to discuss.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Do
go
you
ahead.
want to talk about like the varying degrees of what constitutes as cheating and what doesn't?
The zip codes.
Well,
The peanut butter.
I don't. I don't want to talk about that actually. But what I do want to talk about is how old everybody is. It doesn't.
They're in college.
Okay, yes, they're in college,
Right.
ambiguously, because Stifler's character has a house off campus, and apparently this giant house is his. The rest of them are freshmen. Why are they friends with him?
I thought he lived in a dorm.
No, he had a big house. That was the house party. It was EL's party.
Well, Barry had been going to college for 8 years.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah, Barry was going for 8 years, but they're all really good friends with these like 2 freshmen. I don't think the Jewish kid's a freshman, but definitely what's his name? The short one, Breckin Myers, is a freshman.
Mm-hmm.
But he's best friends with all these guys that are like what 30 years old and still in college.
I guess I don't know.
It doesn't add up to me.
See. This is one of those things like a look into the college experience. I never ever got anything close to this. So like to me, this is all hyper fictionalized.
I have been at fraternity parties though, and they look just like this. It's
Do
a
they
big
really?
house.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's
yeah,
a big
yeah.
house.
It depends what school you go to.
I
but
just
yeah.
assumed that it was a fraternity house.
Right. So he's in a fraternity, but he's really good friends with some random freshman walking around everywhere. He's not. That's not how it works.
No.
No.
So you call bullshit on that?
Call bullshit on that.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to think about it that
Yeah,
hard.
see, that's the thing. Okay, there's a lot of that in this movie. Just don't think
Look,
about
man, they cast
Exactly.
Stifler in this movie. They're gonna freaking use him.
it. I wish his name was Stifler in this movie.
He's
Yeah.
just Stifler in everything.
He's Stifler in everything.
Yeah.
I mean, the University of Tennessee frat party was at a giant house too.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. But that's my issue.
Is that a thing? Do
And
they
then-
have giant
and then
houses?
Yeah.
The TA, how old's that TA, right? Because he's obviously on his master's program. So
So originally,
how old is Amy Smart? Is she 18?
She's a freshman.
Yeah, right. She's a freshman, but
Right.
but they've been dating, sort of, or he's been stalking her for some time.
no, she's been stalking him.
Yeah.
No.
He's talking about
I'm talking
Jacob.
about the Jacob. Yeah, he's
Oh,
been stalking
yeah.
her for years. It sounds like.
So Crispin Glover was originally supposed to play the TA role. Like he's much older than Anthony Rapp is.
And creepier.
Yeah, and creepier. and so like you know the whole thing was like he wasn't stalking her for years. He was stalking her because she was in one of his classes, and he just became obsessed with her. And so that's why he's jealous of Breckin Meyer.
You see, Matt, that's why I need you around to answer these dumb questions that I have. It really comes together. I still want to know how old everybody is, but it matters not.
Yeah.
But this is one of those movies, like Final Thoughts, one of those movies, do not think about it. Just enjoy the comedy. It is irreverent and it would never fly in today's society. But my God, it is a funny movie, man.
That bothers me a little bit.
It does.
Because this is fun. It's still funny.
Yeah, so
And I don't think
so's
Still
Blazing
holds up.
Saddles.
I don't think there's anything.
Can't make Blazing Saddles.
The only thing that doesn't hold up is the VHS tape.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's what I wanted to talk about. One of the things, I guess I'll do this for my final thoughts, but like the main character who's like super thirsty about his girlfriend and he's like sending her tape, like he's so grossly desperate that I have a hard time connecting with him.
Well, he's 5'4".
And they've been together since they were 5 years old.
Yeah.
I've seen these couples.
It's weird. And I don't like him.
I'm glad he didn't marry her.
Yeah, I'm
That's
glad.
just me.
Yeah.
That's just me.
That would have been super cringy
It's-
if they would have stayed
I
together.
do love his nightmare where she's banging somebody else, like it just in the middle of the yard
Yeah.
at her college.
That shit is
strips
funny.
off,
Yes,
yeah.
that shit's funny.
She's like, what? I took 2 morning after pills, so we get.
After what you did to me.
Disclaimer: the morning after pill is only 97% effective.
Oh my God.
That's what
All
you
right.
take too.
that's what she took too. All right. That guy it's a little hard to connect with him because he's super creepy and kind of clingy and weird, which I guess is kind of the point. But I didn't buy his whole reasoning of like, I'm going to go across the country to stop the VHS tape. Like,
Yeah. Also, he lost a lot of his like credibility the minute he cheated on this girl.
Yeah.
So
yeah. And he's trying to hide it, which is just kind of a shitty thing to do.
yeah, we didn't even talk about how Amy Smart's character basically like ruins a very healthy relationship.
Oh yeah. Oh no, she's horrible. She doesn't even they don't even have a relationship.
Oh.
And she's like taking a bus
No.
and gets her feet licked by
Oh,
by
no,
Todd Phillips.
he's talking about the wrong.
She goes to
city.
Boston.
Yes. She's not even in a relationship with this guy. She's like, I fucked your boyfriend.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and then
just leaves
because she doesn't bother to check that it's the right person. And then
shit on the coats.
This chick goes freaking nuts.
Oh,
grabs
yeah.
a baseball bat, starts smashing the shit out of his car, and then she beats him up. And she's in the crowd, and instead of stopping it and going wrong person, she goes, "I better get out of here."
Yeah.
And then she just bails.
Bails. Oh, Amy Smart. Amy Smart is a psycho in the whole movie.
Yeah.
Total psycho.
A little bit.
Yeah, she calls in a bomb threat just to like
She calls it a
help the guy
bomb
that she
threat.
likes.
That's
To a guy
right.
she
Yeah.
banged. To a guy she banged one time.
She forces this guy to like get her in the auction anyway, and then she forces him to fuck her on film,
Yes.
and then she ruins somebody else's relationship.
Yes.
she's actually the villain
She's
of
the villain of the movie.
She's an absolute monster. Absolute monster the entire movie. Yeah. She's insane. Like, she is the scariest person you could have sex with.
Yeah.
She's very pretty and terrifying.
Yeah.
He goes back and ends up in a relationship with her because that's the safest thing for him to do for himself.
That's
Imagine if he didn't.
Right?
What would she do?
She would have ruined his life.
Yeah.
She
Yeah.
actually kind of belonged with Jacob because he's crazy too.
Yeah.
She's the kind of girl that's going to kill herself in public, and it's your fault. And you're like,
There's
That went dark.
That did get into dark.
Oh,
okay,
yeah.
Tom.
oh, no. Nothing good is going
Like
to happen.
off the top of a building.
no.
You did this to me.
Yes,
Woo.
no. Amy Smart's life is only going downhill from here. Like, this is how she's starting. Like, this is,
It's
boy.
scary how much you know about this type of person.
Oh, he's dated a lot of crazy girls.
I've dated a lot of crazy people. Yeah. Mhm. I mean, I can go on. I mean, it's
No,
not fun.
give this movie a rating there,
Some
Tom.
of them still text me.
Oh God, that's scary.
I know.
Give it a rating, Tom. What do you got?
Oh, well, okay. Okay.
It's on Amazon.
Yeah,
it's
I'm
sitting
looking
at
what it
4.5 stars.
Yeah. I mean, it's a comedy. You can't give a comedy more than 4 stars.
You can't?
Hell no, you
What
can't.
about, dude, Tropic Thunder?
No.
That's a 5-star comedy.
Yeah, but it's still a comedy.
Okay, but you have to put it in the realm of comedies.
Yeah. Is
Okay.
it?
For
in the realm-
road trip romp comedies.
Oh, okay.
Sex comedy. Where does this lay for you?
It's up there. It's a top 5 of
Wow.
this kind of movie,
Yeah.
hands down.
Okay.
Top 3 probably. I mean, it's a road trip. It's just really good. It's really well done. It sets up Todd Phillips down the road for more.
Mhm.
All the characters are fun. I don't know what Breckin Meyer's doing these days, but Stifler's still getting work, and Tom Green has a podcast. So I
Does
don't
he
know.
really?
Yeah. He's in a van and drives around the country. Yeah,
That's great.
Yeah, it's pretty
Sounds
cool.
great for him.
Yeah, it sounds good for him. Just be
Yeah.
alone and crazy. But I remember this movie, like I was like 18, 19 years old when this came out. So this was like really, it came out at just the right time to be awesome. And yeah, I mean, it has a special place in my heart, but it's a 4. It's a fantastic comedy.
Okay.
I can name better comedies, but this is a great movie. Really fun.
Okay. Cool. Jude, final thoughts. Give it a rating.
Yeah, I think that this came out at the perfect time for it. If this came out today, it would be canceled immediately. But I think that there's just so much that holds up comedic wise, and like if I'm putting it in the category of comedy, it's probably a 2.5. But like it's not a comedy, it's a sex comedy, and it's a very specific category. and for that, I mean, it's well done, and that's a 4.
So you're like subcategorizing your comedies.
You
then.
have to with something like this because of the content in it is very specific. It's all about sex.
Yeah, the raunchy comedy.
Like the thing that moves the story forward is sex. He has sex and he's got to make his girlfriend not know about it. And then along the way, Kyle has sex, and this is the impetus for him to becoming a man.
And then Stifler gets freaking banged.
He's completely different after he like has that experience.
Oh, he walks out of that freaking house like
Oh my
swagger.
God,
He's got the hat backwards.
Yeah.
What's up, bro?
Yeah, and like Stifler, who throughout the movie is the guy who's like, you know, hit it and quit it,
Yeah.
and like always like seems to be like the player. He has this life-changing sexual experience, and then he ends up like committing in a one-on-one relationship with a med student,
Right.
because like he found his love, and
Yeah.
I don't know if it was her, but it was definitely it. And so you have to put this in the category of sex comedy.
Okay.
This is
And
not
love.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
okay,
love.
fine. This is not Ghostbusters. this is Road Trip.
It's true, sir. This man has no dick. All right. 2.5 out of all comedies, and then narrowed it down to
It's a 4 out of sex
4
comedies.
out of sex comedies. Okay, your rating system is bonkers, Jude.
Hey, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. Points are made up. Kadish, take it away. What's your final thoughts? Give it a rating.
So first of all, I just want to say how surprised I am that Alex chose the movies he did because he doesn't get comedy.
Yeah. I too am surprised.
Apparently, I get sex comedies.
Apparently, yeah. This is your sub niche.
Don't ask me.
How many jack-off jokes are there?
It's because I was so sheltered when I was growing up. I didn't watch these movies until I was much older, and I watched them and I was like, oh my God, I missed out on so much.
Yeah.
I think that's what it is.
And I'll say this. So like this was, I think, in my personal opinion, the least funny of the movies that we watched for this week.
I will agree.
And like I can remember going to see this in theaters and thinking like, oh, this was hilarious, this was edgy. And then upon this rewatch, I'm just kind of like, it was all right. Talking about it with you guys was a lot more fun than watching the movie for me.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna give this like a pretty solid, like maybe 2.5, 3 stars.
Okay.
One of those things.
That's right around where I'm at with this movie. It's a solid, right middle of the road, 2.5 sex romp comedy. Like, just go have fun with it. Sex romp.
Get in the bus, you guys. We're going on a sex romp.
Sex romp. Not gonna be our freaking our Rammsteiner thing every time. Just woo!
Sex romp.
All right, that's it for Road Trip. What did you think about this movie? Comment below. Let us know.